If you're a victim of a crime, you probably assume that the prosecutor assigned to your case is your lawyer. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions that I often see. If you've been a victim of a crime and you want to know more information about your rights and what to do next, call us at NightLaw at 408-877-6177. One of the first things to realize once you are thrust in a criminal justice system as a victim of a crime is that the prosecutor who filed the charges against the defendant is not your personal lawyer. They don't represent you. They represent the people of California. So they're the ones who filed the charges. They're the ones who are going to prosecute the case. And they're the ones who are going to put on the evidence to show that the defendant is guilty of the crime that he's been accused with. And in that process, you play a critical role because your testimony will be presented to the court or to the jury if there's a jury trial as part of the prosecution's case. But it's important to realize that when you walk in there, although you're going to have victim advocates who have provided you with support services and some resources, that they do not represent you. A lot of folks make the mistake of believing that they're represented by the district attorney's office, and this is simply not true. And you have many, many rights under the California Constitution as a victim of a crime that entitles you not only to certain protections, which we'll talk about, but also to restitution, which means compensation for the crime that you suffered as a result of the defendant's actions. California has one of the strongest and most robust frameworks for victims' rights protections in the country. Under Marsy's law, you have significant rights related to, first of all, being treated with dignity and respect throughout the criminal justice system. You have a right to be notified when the defendant is going to be released from jail. You have a right to attend every court hearing and provide your input and your opinion on the disposition in the case, which means that could mean the offer that was conveyed by the district attorney's office, or at sentencing with a victim impact letter that you can either read to the judge or hand to the DA to read on your behalf. You have many rights relating to confidentiality. You have rights regarding restitution and compensation for all the damage that the defendant has inflicted on you, whether it's injuries or therapy that you had to go out and seek as a result of the abuse. You have a right to restitution for property damage that happened during the crime as a result of the defendant's actions, and some other restitution rights that are really important for you to be aware of and exercise. At sentencing, you can address the court directly. You can stand in court and tell the judge how you feel about the case and how the defendant's actions impacted you and your family members. This is an important right to remember. You also have a right to take time away from work to attend court hearings. Your employer cannot discriminate against you for that. They cannot remove you from your position or fire you because you are a victim of a crime. So there are robust protections that are offered to victims of crime in California, and it's really important that you become aware of what these rights entail. Just kind of like a recap, not every victim needs to have an attorney, but there are certain situations where you might consider getting your own advocate, somebody who can fiercely advocate for your rights, who can sit down with you and explain what your rights are and what you're entitled to with regard to the protections under Marsy's law, as well as restitution, especially in serious cases with substantial injuries, significant medical expenses, and significant restitution claims. It's really important to have somebody in your corner who's listening to you, whose only role is to act in your best interest and make sure that your rights are safeguarded and protected in the criminal justice system. And that person is a victim's attorney who is charged with defending your rights and making sure that your voice is heard, not just by the district attorney's office, but also by the court and the judge who's presiding over the criminal matter. If you need to speak with an attorney about your rights as a victim, feel free to call us at 408-877-6177.